Every single year, millions of Africans risk their lives just to leave Africa. Some drown in the Mediterranean Sea, some die in the Sahara Desert, and the craziest part, most of them still believe it's worth the risk. Why? Why does an entire continent move somewhere else? It didn't start with poverty, it started in the classroom. For 200 years, colonial powers built schools across Africa. And in those schools, African children were taught one thing above everything else. African children were punished for speaking their own languages in school. Taught them that African languages were primitive. And also, African history was worthless. That Africans' ways of doing things were backward. They were taught in English and French. That the best vision of themselves looked European. Come on, that wasn't education, that was programming. And it worked because 60 years after independence, African children are still growing up believing success has a European address. Then in 1980s, something happened that destroyed African confidence completely. Yes, African countries needed money to develop after independence. So they went to IMF and World Bank and said, can we borrow? And they say yes, but with conditions: to cut government spending, close public hospitals, remove support for local industries, open your markets to foreign goods. Ghana did it, Nigeria accepted, Zambia accepted, Kenya accepted, and in every single country, schools deteriorated, jobs disappeared, local businesses died, replaced by cheap foreign imports. The very institution that could have given the young Africans a reason to stay were dismantled by laws that were supposed to help. Then came the final push: Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Suddenly, a 19-year-old in Accra, in Lagos, in Nairobi could see exactly what lives look in London, in Toronto, in Paris, in Dubai. Clean streets, stable electricity, working hospital, opportunity that the world had worked not to build for the lose. Then they look at what was around them and made a decision, not because they hate Africa, but because everything they had been told and everything they could now see with their own eyes pointed the same direction away. Here is a truth nobody says out loud: Africans leave Africa because Africa has nothing. Africa has everything: the most gold, the most diamond, the most oil, the youngest population, the most land, the most sand. Africans leave because the system built by colonialism, maintained by corrupt leaders, enforced by international debt conditions, was designed to make staying feel impossible. They didn't just take the resources, they took the belief. And until Africa get that belief back, the boats will keep crossing the Mediterranean, the planes will keep flying to London, and the best minds Africa produced will keep building someone else's country instead of their own country. Anyway, that's the end of the video. See you in the next one.